Quarantine life really hasn't been that big a deal to me. Most interesting thing has been observing how mentally and emotionally challenging this has been for so many people. It's like this incredible reminder of what I went through so many years ago. When I was 29 years old as a cop, I was nearly killed and disabled in line of duty. Suspect had drugged me halfway hanging out of his vehicle about 115 yards, and we hit a light pole going approximately 70 miles an hour. I had broke my neck, I had ruptured and herniated most of the discs in my neck and back, torn ligaments, tendons, nerve damage, you name it. I did it. In 8 seconds, my entire life changed. I was the type of guy that was never at home. I was always outdoors, or I was playing sports, or I was at some epic social event going on, living my life to the fullest. And then suddenly, I'm stuck at home day and night, unable to do any of the things that brought me joy and gave me a sense of fulfillment. And to make matters worse, the rest of the world was out doing all the stuff I loved. Before you know it, I was forgotten about. My entire identity had been erased, and I was left with something in the mirror that I didn't even recognize. Crippled by excruciating pain every second of every day of my life, with no sense of purpose or value. Everything that I had worked so hard for in my life was seemingly gone. But I fought like hell and I refused to give in. But several years later, when I was still suffering from miserable pain, it could only mean one thing: I wasn't good enough. My greatest fear, and it was devastating. Would I really be stuck living the rest of my life in this broken down, worthless, less than half-assed version of myself? What's the point of even going on? Well, I'll tell you, because that constant agony, inability to control my life was the very thing that gave me the opportunity to discover that happiness comes from within. That I am not a victim of my circumstances, that it is not the issue that's the issue, but it's how I relate to the issue that's the issue. My perceived problems suddenly became an incredible opportunity for my own self-empowerment, to undefine myself and learn to love myself unconditionally. If you can relate to anything I just said, I encourage you to use these unusual times as an opportunity to surrender the illusion of control and to trust the divine unknowing, to live from love instead of fear, live a life of gratitude, not lack, and to govern your own happiness regardless of the circumstances. Hang in there, guys. We're all going to get through this. See you on the other side. Peace and love.